This was a huge part of this year, building our vision frame. And the vision frame, the idea is the frame is framing the picture of who we are. And the way I usually think of it is you have a 10-year picture you're sort of thinking through, and how we're going to get there is the frame around it, the mission, the core values, the strategies, and then how we're going to measure those strategies. Lots of people, I should say churches, are good at coming up with a mission and core values, and then they put banners up. That's usually the end of it. It's the strategies and the measurements that actually get you to the finish line. What's our mission? Well, I've been preaching about it. So it's a church that empowers and equips people to engage our world with the love of Jesus. How we're going to get there. So we're going to do empowering Bible-based services. So that is the empower portion. Every week you come in here, you're going to get some kind of investment into you to empower you to be what Christ has called you to be in our world. Then the next step that people should be going to next is equipping. That's equipping through groups, some kind of small group. You're going in there, and our theory, our concept for small groups is you assemble, and then you apply what you're learning on Sundays, and then you act it out in how you respond in our world. So that's going to be our step 2 when it comes to equipping. And then we want to engage to disengage with urgency. That's the key word. Lots of people have missions programs, community outreaches, things like that. I just want our word that we kind of gravitate to is an urgency to it. This matters. It matters right now. We've got to be all in with this constantly. That's why we're doing everything that we're doing. How are we going to measure it? Surveys. It sounds weird. I know it sounds weird, but most churches measure basically 3 things. How many butts in the seat, how many how much money is coming in, and how many people are in a life group. That's pretty much it. And I don't think that actually tells you a lot of information, because you don't know what people's income is. So, someone might be totally giving a lot, but it doesn't look like a lot. That's so what? It's the concept of giving that matters, not the amount. So why are we measuring that? And then butts in the seat. What if there's a pandemic? And all of a sudden you can't have them in the seats. If you haven't trained them in any capacity to actually be Christ in the community, what are you gaining by getting more and more people in the room? So I don't like that measurement. Life groups is a good one. I don't mind that one. So what we're going to do is measure a different way. Surveys, once a month, you'll get it when you walk in, and we're going to ask questions on the survey. How is your relationship with Christ advancing? What's the latest thing that you've learned from Christ? Who's the last person you shared Christ with? How are you using the tools you're learning here out in your community? Those are the kind of questions we're going to ask in these surveys, and then the staff will evaluate it and go, are we having the impact that we're supposed to be having? That's a measurement tool we'll use. So there'll be 12 of those next year. This will all start in January. Celebrations. So this is something that once a week we want to celebrate someone who made a step forward in their life. Right now we're not really doing much. Every once in a while I'll have a testimony, but we want to get to the point where every week you're hearing someone's celebration story where they did something in their community. They invited someone over for dinner and they got to share Christ. They invited someone to church. They became a Christian. All those celebrations is how we're going to measure it. If we don't have any celebrations, we're not doing it right. And then life change numbers, and that's where we will measure people coming to Christ. That's a big one. Baptisms, and then life groups and stuff. So the numbers that are actually about life change, as opposed to what I was saying before. Does that make sense?